Hi, Jagadeesh. How are you?
Good. Good.
So, Alicia Magnus Lewis here with the Los Angeles Tribune. Jagadeesh Paramahansa. It's beautiful to be sitting here with you today. Jagadeesh, you are a sacred spiritual healer. You are an author. You are a headliner of the Los Angeles Tribune filmed The Pillars of Power. But most of all, you're here on mission to impact the world, to help heal individuals and help them connect with themselves. But Jagadeesh, your journey started when you were quite young. When you were 3.5 years old, you had your first experience with knowingness, or maybe understanding that there was perhaps more to this world that we live in than people may understand or comprehend. And that was such a young age. What can you think about or reflect on from that early experience on how it's impacted your life and the trajectory of your experiences since?
Okay. Well, when I was 3.5, and I remember this so clearly, I was leaning over at a hole that the dogs had dug out in the side yard. And my brother was off to this side, and there was a bicycle lying flat, and he was tinkering with it. And as I was looking down this hole, it was marvelous to me. It was like really amazing. And I was looking down, and I called out to my brother, "Come over and look at this," as I was going like that. And my consciousness was split into two, the hole and my brother, is he coming or not, And I leaned over so much I fell into the hole. So I know I was falling head first, right? So I tucked my head and I did one somersault and I landed at the bottom of this hole. For a toddler, 3.5 years old, it became a cave to me. So I landed like in a yogic posture, and I looked up, this way, right? And I saw earth, just earth, right? I looked this way, I looked this way, and then I looked up and I saw the juniper bush, which was like a tree to me as a 3.5-year-old. I saw the juniper bush, and then as I was coming back down, and I reached about this angle, looking back at the earth cave that I was in, this bright light, like 1,000 suns at least, if not 1,000,000 suns, came right out of the earth into me, filling my body and filling everything around me with this divine light. Powerful, powerful light. And I remember I was in total absolute oneness, total unity, in light, divine light. So there wasn't, I disappeared. I was no longer aware of being a single person, an individual. And everything else disappeared in the light. So there was no time. I have no idea how long I spent there. Other than my brother, when I came out, my brother was gone, and it wasn't nighttime yet. So I know it was in the morning, so like I say, I could have been there for 10 minutes, or I could have been there 10 hours, and I have no idea. I'll never be able to understand how long I was there. But it shifted my life completely, because this is the first experience of liberation. In Japanese, one of the words used is kensho for this. This first powerful awakening to absolute divine truth. And for me, it was divine light, absolute. So,
what an experience at such a young age. And a lot of people are looking for and they're seeking absolute divine truth, right?
Yeah, right.
And even hearing that, and many people may be hearing that phrase for the first time. What is it about absolute divine truth should people be aware about as they learn to explore what that actually means, and as they learn to figure out what that looks like for themselves?
Right. It is absolute truth. So it's the only thing that's eternal. It's eternal. It can't be degraded in any way. It can't be impure. It's the purest, most radiant divine love bliss light that one can ever experience. And so from that kind of experience, it transforms and shifts one's whole life into a prioritization of their life into extending virtue, embodying virtue, extending generosity, and doing deep, deep spiritual work to go to that second phase, satori, is just one word to use for it, for the permanent realization of that absolute divine love bliss truth, like that. And from that, the fulfillment is perfection in a type of knowledge. So there's no more fear or protection of the body, although you know how to do that in normal day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But you realize you're not your physical body. And then you realize, well, you're not even your mind. You're not your mental concepts or constructs anymore. They've disappeared into a functionality of working in the world. But you know your absolute quantum divine light. You know that. You're identified with it and you know it to be you. I mean, the happiness is unbounded. It's you know, you've had taste of it. So.
Yes, I mean, oh, that's truly beautiful. And divine love bliss, a core, a center, an anchor of the experience that you live. You have captured the essence, I would say, of your journey into a new book, Divine Love Bliss. What has it been about the work that you have experienced, the journey you've been on, living in India, living in solo retreat, and then being back here with the world in your presence, that you wanted to share through your book, Divine Love Bliss?
Yeah, so the autobiography, I guess, is what it would be, memoir kind of thing. And it's really going to be 2 or 3 books. The first book is going to be published through LA Tribune. What a wonderful gift that is for me, because there's such valued people involved in LA Tribune. And so that book is just kind of the beginning, a little bit of what I said now in the beginning. But there's been a lot more progress, and there continues to be. So it's worth another book and then possibly a third. But this is all about sharing with people the possibilities of exalted spiritual experience, attainment, and embodiment, and how this contributes almost automatically or spontaneously to excellence in all avenues that you participate in your life: relationships, health and well-being, mental health, and your career. The career becomes guided by the divine energy, if you will, like that.
Yeah.
So everything falls into place, and if it doesn't fall in place from a third person view, it still falls in place for you, because everything that might be challenging is a lesson that lifts you up even further. So it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
That's wonderful. There's so much that people can learn from your book, your experiences, and your journey. You're very real about all of your experiences.
Well, there's one other thing too. This is really taboo for someone like me, who's lived as a renunciate sadhu, a holy person, deep in the secretive traditions of India. This is very taboo. No one talks about. You only talk about your spiritual experiences with your blessed Guru Dev, to get some response and extra refined guidance or something like that. And so it's a sacrifice in a certain way, because it's just too important to let people know the possibilities, especially of such a kind of secretive tradition that's so exalted and deep, So that's the reason. It's really just open people's minds and hearts to the possibilities of where us as an embodied human being can go in fulfilling such extreme happiness you know, and the purpose is automatic right there. It's one of the highest purposes you can attain as a human being, if you're spiritually minded, you know.
Yeah,
So.
that's remarkable. And for you to have that intentionality to say, I've had these experiences, I want to share and show people what is possible. You do direct light transmissions, you know.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Well, you hope so. You do them, but you bring community together from all around the world
Right.
on a weekly basis. The time periods may change, but for direct light transmissions, what would you want people to know
Oh, okay.
about coming to experience your work
Right.
in a group and community field like you do? Because you're working with people all around the world through these sessions.
Right. And back before I went into solo retreat, which is going on starting 9 years now, actually, but I'm coming out of it to do this kind of work with all of you, and you too.
What is it about the direct light transmission that
Oh,
you like
yeah,
people
right.
to
Okay,
know?
great. Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, you come with that prayerful mind, you come humbly, and you come in cleanliness of mind and body. So you try to take a shower if you can, wear light-colored or white clothing. You get a sense of purity about that when you do that. And just participate, knowing that you're getting a very pure divine transmission, that there's nothing of me involved in the transmission like that. So I've attracted, you know, master healers and spiritual teachers to my work and their students. And I've worked with, you know, as many as 200 people at a time. And just to be really open to pray to God to be touched by God, you know.
Yeah, to really be, I felt that from you, to really be open. And for you, you are part of the Pillars of Power film, a film produced by the Los Angeles Tribune. What is the message that you want people to know
Okay.
from you in the Pillars of Power that you just really want to share with the world?
Thank you so much. Oh my God. When I think of how everyone can be so happy permanently, and not only in this life, but eternally, this means when you drop the physical body, and you drop the soul in a certain way, when you transcend into liberated state, then you don't need your psychic instruments, you don't need the subtle bodies, you don't need the chakras. Those all are just for the soul's life, the transpersonal level that we live in, you know. And so I want people to know that I'm here to support them. And what many people might not know is the level of this transmission and all the other work I do, it purifies the soul so deeply that it's almost automatic and spontaneous that you evolve as a human being and mature as a human being. And then your own work that you're doing in the world becomes excelled and reaches a higher level of excellence. And then we're all joining together to uplift not only humanity, but all life, all sentient beings. And it's just one of the most beautiful things to participate in. So.
Wow, that's truly wonderful. Jagadeesh, what is a message that you have on your heart that you would just like people to be aware about, whether you've shared it in the past with your students, or it's just near and dear to you, you haven't shared it, but you would like people to know? What is that message on your heart that you'd like to share with everyone?
Well, I mean, there's a variety of messages, but one message is be very real with yourself and honest, and start exactly where you're at. Really, right where you're at, start there. And get the help you need, get the understanding, meditate, reflect on, if you read advanced scriptural works, or the lives of saints, or the commentaries of these God-realized beings on scriptural works, and different things like that. Read them, reflect on them, let them expand your conscious awareness, and then meditate deeply and embody those things, you know.
And for people that have never meditated before, don't know what to expect from meditation, what is it that you can share with them about what meditation truly is all about? Because some people are practitioners, they meditate daily, and some people are like, meditation, it's not for me. But everyone is kind of on that journey, whether they're aware or not, to kind of find self. So what would you like to share with people around meditation who might be new to it?
Okay. Well, meditation does amazing things for you. They've done so many testing on how it develops your brain and cognitive skills, and it could prevent different declines in those things. It orders your body system to the degree that you can maintain vibrant health just through a deep practice of meditation. It de-stresses the systems. So for those reasons, and the mental clarity and the alignment that you get with it all is amazing on all those factors. How you could relate to others gets more beautiful and wonderful and satisfying, fulfilling. But the other thing is deep meditation. There's a process I can guide people where deep meditation can be kind of switched into burning negative karmic content within the soul, and that goes into the body and the thoughts and feelings, the emotional body as well. There's techniques where just deep meditation can cleanse that karmic content.
Yeah.
And then there's different types of meditations. So meditation is for you to realize that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, and you're something very pure and dynamic, a pinpoint of light, pure spiritual substance of divine eternal knowledge and bliss. Then the other part of meditation, bear with me.
No, this is great, because the thing is, like, some people, they just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so this is really helpful for them.
So the other part, which is the creme de la creme, and the specialty of my own tradition, very refined, exalted tradition as it is loving God. Not only loving God, but realizing God as well. Not only realizing God, but your love gets so strong, it draws God to your presence, and God reveals himself, herself to you in different ways. This is darshan, the holy sight of God. And that continues more and more over the years. It gets more intense, it gets more knowledge and of the qualities of God is revealed directly, not just through reading or thinking, but God reveals them to you directly as realities, eternal realities. Then you can become friends with God. And this is also meditative practices that have been refined over generations and millennia. And
Yeah.
stuff.
So you're sharing that there's levels and there's layers to this. Jagadeesh, there are so many questions I can ask you. As we come to a close, I would really like for you to share more about your sacred spiritual surgery practice that you do, and some of the ancestral healing work that you do, because I think for those that are tuning in, it can give them a glimpse of what is possible, what is unknown, and how they can fully become present within themselves through these experiences, even if they're just learning about it and they don't experience it with you. So what is sacred spiritual surgery all about? Because you are so good at what it is that you do.
I'm presenting a trifecta of work that I'll be presenting to the public again, and elevated since I was doing it decades ago. But the trifecta here is power meditation, divine love bliss power meditation, and then, like you said, sacred spiritual surgery and sacred ancestral healing. So with the one, you get to know yourself, your divine nature, your truest, highest, perfected self of eternal divine light, So that's with the power of that meditation will guide us towards that. The spiritual surgery is a practice where I pull out negative karmic content from the body, blood, bones, organs, and the subtle instruments of the chakras, major and minor chakra systems, the meridian lines, and then there's other things, the marma points that people might not know. And then we're pulling stuff out of the emotional body and the other different bodies that exist. Just cleansing so much, pulling out all the negative gucky stuff. And the interesting thing here is if you have stagnant energy in your auric field, for instance, and these other instruments we talked about, then they're going to get stagnant and the energy is going to be slowing down and even stopping in certain areas of your body, right? And as a result of that, these will be weakened, whatever areas they're doing that in. Those areas will be weakened and prone to injury if you have an accident. If they're cleansed and cleared, you can have an accident and there won't be injury, see? Or disease may set in because of the congestion of the energy. So by doing this regularly, getting this done regularly, it acts as a preventative for all kinds of things that you don't need to experience in life.
Yeah.
Suffering.
Yeah,
that
which
happens.
people go through.
Yeah.
And the last piece here is the ancestral healing.
Yeah. So the ancestral healing is a way to cleanse the negative karmic content that comes down through the ancestral lines and affects us. And I've seen this so many times. I had a client once come in. It was a big group, and he came up for me to work on him individually, and I could see that the ancestral lines were fighting with each other. And I just told him, your mother and your father are from different religious traditions and they're fighting. And you can't find any peace in your being. And he said, how did you know that? What was, my God, since birth I've been suffering from this anxiety and this violence in a certain way. I was able to clear it right then and there, within 30 seconds. And he was dumbfounded. He for the first time, he's felt peace in his system, in his body, in his mind, his emotions. That is a fantastic gift to offer to people. Yeah. So, and there's many ways the ancestral lines affect us, from DNA to the psychic impingement and different things like that.
I mean, you're such a gift to the world, Jagadeesh.
I hope so.
You definitely are. I mean, and your work, you've studied so much. You've gone within yourself, but you've connected with many people around the world. Your work has been scientifically proven. You have worked with presidents of nations, Fortune 100 companies, CEOs, and the people that work there, celebrities, but you're really here helping people to heal, to cleanse, and to understand what it's like to go within and what it's like to connect with someone that can help them further connect with self and allow the things that are not meant for them to release so that they can embrace all that is meant to come
at a higher level
to them at an elevated level. It's been so beautiful speaking with you today, Jagadeesh. Thank you so much. We'll definitely have to have you back.
Okay, great.
Until next time.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Thank you.
And everybody.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.